If you've been following HGTV lately, you might have noticed something pretty shocking. In the last few months, the network has canceled not just 1 or 2 shows, but a whole wave of them, some of which had loyal fan bases and consistent viewership. It's left a lot of fans confused, frustrated, and asking the same question: what's going on with HGTV? Today, we're diving into the sudden cancellation of several HGTV shows like Farmhouse Fixer, Bargain Block, Married to Real Estate, and more. I'll break down what's been canceled, how the stars have reacted, and some of the possible reasons behind these big decisions. So stay with me till the end, because we'll also talk about what this might mean for the future of home renovation TV. A quick pause. If you want to stay updated on all things HGTV, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video if you're enjoying it so far, and drop a comment to share your thoughts. All right, let's jump back in. Let's start with what actually got canceled. In mid-2025, HGTV began quietly pulling the plug on several of its most recognizable shows. One of the first to go was Farmhouse Fixer, starring Jonathan Knight from New Kids on the Block. This show had run for 3 seasons and was a favorite among fans who appreciated the New England charm and historical restorations. When the news came out that it wasn't returning, fans were caught off guard. Even Jonathan Knight himself admitted he was still processing the reasons behind the cancellation, which tells you how sudden it probably was. Next came Bargain Block, the show hosted by Keith Bynum and Evan Thomas, which focused on flipping rundown homes in Detroit to make them affordable again. The show had a distinct style and message, and it built a strong fan base over 4 seasons. But just like that, it was gone. Keith and Evan later shared on social media that the experience behind the scenes wasn't always easy, suggesting there were deeper issues than just ratings. Then, there was Married to Real Estate, featuring Sherrod and Mike Jackson, a husband-wife duo helping clients find and renovate homes while balancing their own family life. It lasted 4 seasons and was one of HGTV's more personal and family-oriented series. When it was canceled, Egypt and Mike handled it graciously, thanking fans for their support and saying they were proud of what they'd accomplished. And it didn't stop there. Izzy Does It, hosted by Izzy Battres, who viewers originally met on Christina Hall's earlier shows, was also canceled after just 1 season. Although he confirmed the news himself, the announcement came with no big explanation, and fans were left wondering why a well-liked personality with such potential didn't get another shot. Even Christina on the Coast, one of HGTV's longer-running franchises, was discontinued after 5 seasons. Christina responded to the news in her usual chill way, making a joke on social media that "canceled looks good on me," while promoting her champagne brand. She's moving on to other ventures. Tarek and Heather Ray El Moussa's show The Flipping El Moussas also came to an end after 2 seasons. Interestingly though, the couple is still involved in a new HGTV project called The Flip Off, which is basically a flipping competition show. So even though their original series got the axe, they haven't completely disappeared from the network. Now, once fans started seeing how many shows were getting canceled all at once, the backlash was immediate. Social media, especially Reddit, lit up with questions and criticism. Many people pointed out that the canceled shows had something in common. They were led by either LGBTQ+ hosts or people of color. Farmhouse Fixer featured a gay host. Bargain Block had an openly gay couple. Married to Real Estate featured a black couple. Izzy Does, it was led by a Latino host. It's not hard to see why people are raising eyebrows. One Reddit comment put it bluntly, saying that when you look at the list of shows that were canceled, it starts to feel like more than just a coincidence. And while HGTV hasn't directly responded to these concerns, their silence has only made the speculation louder. So, what's really going on? Why would a network cancel so many popular shows all at once? Well, one obvious reason could be ratings. Even if a show has a loyal fan base, if the numbers don't meet the network's expectations, it becomes harder to justify the costs. Reality shows may be cheaper than scripted dramas, but they still involve travel, staff, sets, and marketing. If HGTV thinks the return on investment isn't strong enough, cancellations happen, regardless of how loved a show is. Another factor could be a shift in the network's direction. HGTV has always rotated its lineup every few years, but this time it feels more strategic. They're leaning into bigger, bolder projects. Shows like Celebrity IOU are still going strong. 100 Day Dream Home has been renewed for another season. And they're continuing to push shows led by longtime HGTV stars like the Property Brothers. Some shows like Chasing the West and Don't Hate Your House were scheduled for summer releases but have been delayed. That suggests HGTV might be dealing with production setbacks or reorganizing its schedule altogether. There's also a possibility that budget cuts are playing a role. With networks facing pressure from streaming competition and shifting advertising dollars, it's not surprising that trimming the roster is part of the strategy. But even if the reasons make sense on paper, they're not landing well with the audience. Many viewers are saying that HGTV is losing its connection to what made the network special in the first place. Shows that felt authentic, local, and real. When people tune in to HGTV, they're often not looking for glossy celebrity content. They want to see regular folks fixing up homes, navigating real challenges, and telling personal stories. Shows like Bargain Block and Married to Real Estate offered exactly that. There's also a growing frustration that networks are prioritizing social media buzz or brand deals over meaningful content. For fans who've been watching HGTV for years, this wave of cancellations feels like a shift away from heart and toward hype. So, what does the future look like for these stars? Some may move to other platforms. Jonathan Knight could easily take his Farmhouse renovation content to streaming or YouTube. Izzy Battres has enough personality and experience to build a digital presence of his own. Egypt and Mike, with their real estate expertise and on-screen chemistry, could easily land new deals elsewhere. In fact, don't be surprised if some of these canceled shows come back in new formats or on other networks entirely. Tarek and Christina will probably stay in the HGTV spotlight a little longer thanks to the flip-off. Their personal drama continues to attract attention, and HGTV seems to be capitalizing on that dynamic for ratings. HGTV's 2025 cancellation spree has taken a lot of fans by surprise. Whether it's due to ratings, budget shifts, or a major programming overhaul, one thing is clear: the network is changing. But as these shows disappear, it's also clear that many of their stars and their fans aren't ready to let go just yet. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or informative, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And let me know in the comments, do you think HGTV made the right call? Or are they making a big mistake by moving away from what made them so relatable in the first place? I'll catch you in the next one.